Before this fan fiction starts, this is a warning. Whoa, another warning. This has been a long time since I got another warning. Here's the warning. This is a clop fiction, which means it's gonna be some stuff in there you don't want to hear and stuff. And I will tell you right now, if you don't like to hear that kind of stuff, you should walk away from the video right now. Walk. I'm giving you a chance. Walk away. Walk. It's clop fiction. This is some serious business. And before this video even starts, I have a message for ZandercanLover47. You're a freaking douchebag for doing this. You may be my friend, but dude, you told me straight up, this isn't a cloud fiction. You totally lied to me. I went in here. The title says it's a romance story. So I'm over here reading this mess, thinking about some kind of comedy like romance thing, and it turns clop fiction thing. I'm like, what the hell? I wasn't ready for that. But I'm okay. So let's start the video, shall we? You have 1 minute to understand what you're getting yourself into, viewers. So let's start the video, shall we? Hello guys, Come Excel here. By the way, a fanfic called The Price of Rejection by Liquid Rainbows. What a nice day, Spike exclaimed aloud, walking about the sunlit streets of Ponyville. Yeah, a nice day to hit on Rarity. Spike didn't have any sort of job like the ponies of Ponyville and spent his days meandering the roads, visiting friends, and sleeping like a cat. It was a nice town, but for a adolescent dragon like Spike, it was not enough. He was always striving to find something interesting to do, and his pursuits intended to lead him to the front doors of the Carousel Boutique, just as they did today. Spike had always found interest in flirting with, harassing, Ponyville's resident dressmaker, Rarity. Being of the age he was, Spike had no more favorite pastimes than lusting after Rarity while she worked in the shop. It seemed that no matter how many times Rarity pushed him away, Spike always came back for more. Oh, I see. Now, as the afternoon sun warmed the clambering streets of this fine Ponyville Friday, Spike once again sauntered nonchalantly into the Carousel Boutique, the door clicking shut behind him. Rarity trotted out from the room to the left, a charming smile on her face, expecting to greet a customer. Her expression visibly dropped when she found out that only Spike was waiting for her. Oh, hello again, Spike, Rarity groaned, trying not to sound too annoyed. What is it I can do for you this time? Spike flashed a toothy grin, putting on his best smooth talker voice. Well, I can see that you're busy, he began, but maybe you could take a little time off of work too. I don't know. Come with me on... Spike got quiet, suddenly extremely nervous. He could play confident, but not around Rarity. His voice grew much smaller and much less smooth. Spike found it hard to continue. It didn't help that Rarity was smiling deviously when had she moved so close to him. He seemed that Rarity's face was mere inches from Spike's own. He could feel beads of sweat forming on his brow. Rarity drew much closer, giving a seductive look. Spike could feel her breath and felt heat rushing to his groin. Huh? Spike blushed deeply knowing that if he was going to get a hard-on here, it would mortify him forever. Rarity giggled crudely. "Something wrong, Spike?" Rarity chimed, fluttering her eyelashes innocently. Spike knew what she was doing and cursed her for being so good looking. Nothing, Rarity. I'm just going to get going now. See ya." With that, Spike turned and ran from the boutique, not looking back. Rarity merely laughed and got back to work, shaking her head. Spike, meanwhile, ran immediately into some bushes nearby, hiding from the ponies out in the streets. Dragon boners were extremely visible, and Spike didn't want to humiliate himself any more than he already had. Nice. Sighing with relief, Spike settled down in his little hideout, peering through holes in the bush and out into the street. No one had seen him, luckily. One of the few advantages of being as small as he was, Spike's erection was starting to fade. But the more he tried not to think about anything sexually, the hornier he became. He knew he had to do something about his problem, but not here in the bushes. Oh, where's he gonna go? Oh, I gotta stop laughing. Hold on. Gotta calm down for a second. Whew. That was funny. Spike could recognize other feelings as well. Indignation. He didn't hate Rarity. No, he couldn't even stay mad at her. But it felt horrible that he couldn't be closer to her just because he wasn't a pony. It felt wrong, sure. Spike acted rather immaturely around her a lot of times, but that didn't change the fact that there was some love inside of him, which he felt was nothing but useless emotion now. Aww. Despite whatever unfairness he was feeling, Spike knew that he had to take backseat to a more imminent problem. He had to do something about his rather debilitating lust. I wonder how they're gonna get rid of that lust he's feeling. Oh, bad thoughts go away. Bad thoughts go away. This is a child's fanfic. This is not immature stuff, I hope. Minutes passed. The sun was still high. The gentle breeze flowed through the streets. Ponies cantered by, off to take care of whatever business they had. Then, like a gift from heaven, Spike got an answer to his problem. Oh, what's that? From a few streets away, a loud bell rang, signaling the end of a school day. Oh, I see where this is going. Jolted to his senses by the shrill sound, Spike quickly hopped from the bushes. By now, his erection had shrunken back, and Spike nearly stood outside of the boutique, looking down the street towards the crowd of school fillies galloping off in different directions, towards their homes or to friends' houses. That's when he spotted her. Sweetie Belle, Rarity's little sister, was trotting happily towards the boutique. Normally, Spike was only verbally aware that he found Sweetie Belle attractive at all. Spike usually only had eyes for one pony, but now, being in a state he was, Spike saw Sweetie Belle as a beautiful angel. Her coat was a precinct white, just like Rarity. Her lavender mane curled cutely over her head, and she watched the world with two gorgeous emerald eyes. Spike's eyes turned into little hearts. and his tongue drooped out of his mouth. Sweetie Belle was obvious to Spike's admiration, and he quickly snapped the look off his face and swaggered up to her with a grin. Oh, he swaggered up to her with a grin. Oh. Hey there, sweetie, Spike toned, alternating his voice to be as slick as he could make it. How are you doing this afternoon? Oh, hey, Spike, Sweetie Belle greeted Spike with a smile. Her voice was like music to his ears. I'm doing all right. Might I say, you are looking quite fine. As usual, Spike replied flirtatiously. Sweetie Belle was a little surprised by the compliment, but quickly became flattered, blushing slightly. Oh, thanks, Spike. That sure is nice of you to say. Spike was starting to get even more confident now. Oh. Okay, here we go. Go on, Spike. Go, Spike. Well, sweetie, I don't think you want to go inside a boutique right now. Rarity is in a bad mood, to say the least. Spike gave a convincing performance, but Sweetie Belle was confused. Is it so bad that I can't go inside? She questioned. Spike made up a bogus but very persuading story about how Rarity had thrown a sewing machine at him, and when he was done, Sweetie Belle's eyes lit up. Oh, Rarity can be pretty peevish sometimes. I always try to avoid her when she's too stressed. Comforting comes later. Spike chuckled and was pleased he was able to manipulate her so easily. He knew it wasn't right, but he also knew that Sweetie Belle had just as much control over him. She just didn't know it. Spike knew what he had to do next. So, Sweetie Belle, maybe you would want to come with me instead. Wouldn't want to risk getting Rarity mad at you. Sweetie Belle became elated and started hopping in place. You mean like a date? She exclaimed, grinning. Spike's jaw hit the ground. I can see that happening. And he instantly started blushing. Some pony wants to go on a date with me? Especially a nice, pretty pony like Sweetie Belle? Sweetie Belle stopped hopping and giggled adorably at Spike's bashfulness. He thought he would faint from such a wonderful sound. Yeah, kind of like a date, Sweetie Belle cheered and hugged Spike, who tried not to look like he was just as excited as she was, even though it was true. With such close proximity, Spike could feel his heart melt and could feel a rush of arousal pass through him. Not yet, Spike. Just a little longer. Yeah, fight that urge, Spike. Fight it. When Sweetie Belle finally released him, she backed away with a blush sheepishly. Sorry, Spike. I just never really been on a date before. Spike assured her that everything was fine and began leading her to the outskirts of Ponyville. He was still quite dumbfounded that Sweetie Belle had so readily jumped to the conclusion of a date. Why didn't he notice her before? That's a good question, Spike. That's a good question. Spike chatted idly with her while they walked, Sweetie admiring the flowers and scenery. Spike found himself enjoying Sweetie's company more than he would have expected, and spent a long time sharing an astounding day with her. The gentle flow in the air stirred off any real heat, making for an ideal sunny afternoon, slowly transitioning into evening. After purposely taking the longest paths, Spike successfully led Sweetie to Sweet Apple Acres, right into the thick of the orchard. The trees providing protection against the sunlight, and it was scenerically secluded, with the singing of birds being the only sound around. Being the time of day it was, Spike had no fears that the Apple family will be out farming. We've got the whole orchard to ourselves. Uh-oh. What's Spike thinking in his head? Ooh, what's going on? Spike came to a halt in the shade of a large apple tree. Sweetie Belle close behind him. Spike turned to Sweetie, who sat on her haunches and looked out over the orchards. Such a great day, huh, Spike? Sweetie asked, turning to him, her hair flowing gently in the breeze. Oh, man. Yeah, he replied, having eyes only for her. It's beautiful. Sweetie smiled at Spike, who moved down to sit beside her. Spike was nervous, but his body was telling him to make a move. Uh-oh. Okay. So, Sweetie, have you ever kissed anyone before? Spike asked. Sweetie Belle blushed nervously, but didn't shy away. No. Have you? Spike wasn't entirely sure how to go about answering that question. When it came to full on lip kisses, Spike had never done such a thing. He didn't feel like lying about this one. Okay, good job, Spike, don't lie. No, I haven't. The two of them sat in silence. Spike lived in a library full of books on every subject. He knew everything there was to know about sexual matters. But romantic gestures, like kissing, was another matter entirely. How can one convey these sort of things through words? Sweetie was uneasy, but her curiosity always got the better of her. Spike, Sweetie began, her cheeks turning red, easily visible against the white of her coat. Do you, I don't know, want to try? Spike was shocked, but felt his heart fluttering. He couldn't back down now. Rather than verbally responding, Spike leaned in slowly towards Sweetie Belle. She took the cue and moved forward as well. Oh, here we go, guys. Oh, the moment we all been waiting for. Sweetie Belle jolted slightly out of instinct as their lips met. It was a strange feeling. It was less the contact itself that was exhilarating, but the emotional weight it carried. They held the kiss for only a moment before breaking off. They were in silence again, the world around them seeming to have disappeared. Spike could only stare into Sweetie's amazing jade-like eyes as she gazed back at him. For a split second, everything was peaceful. Suddenly, the world came back in full motion. Sweetie Belle leaned back and looked away, both blushing madly. Sweetie Belle? Spike? Neither of them really knew what to say. After a moment, Sweetie Belle looked up at Spike again. Do you want to do that again? Spike answered by pouncing on top of Sweetie. Whoa! That's aggressive, isn't it? who fell to her back. She didn't protest as Spike locked his lips to hers. His mouth watering with excitement. Spike's body had been waiting for this a long time. Sweetie Belle adapted quickly to Spike's aggressive change of pace and began pressing her own lips back onto his. The two sloppily making out under every luring sun. Spike was ready. Oh.